Welcome to Sunrise, first light for what's next on B2B revenue teams. Lots to cover today, so let's dive in.
Today we're jumping into something that feels a bit old school for some, but honestly, it's probably more critical now than ever. Okay, picture this. Camera pans, right? Grimy office. Phones just blasting off the hook, people sweating, yelling, chaos. Then you got this young sales rep, grabs the phone, sweating, says, "If you give me one shot, I'll earn your business. I'm going to get you in at the ground floor." You know it.
Oh, yeah. Boiler Room.
Exactly. The movie that, completely twisted how a whole generation saw cold calling.
And here's the crazy thing, right? That image, that intense, pushy, almost frantic picture, it is absolutely still living rent-free in the heads of GTM leaders today. Seriously, we've literally had executives tell us just flat out, look, we're not launching a boiler room in 2025 like it's this dirty word.
Wow. Okay. But that's the biggest mistake, isn't it? Thinking that scene is what we're talking about today.
Totally. What they're missing fundamentally is what cold calling actually is now. It's not about pressure anymore. Not the good kind, anyway.
Right.
It's about presence, showing up. It's about precision, knowing who to call, what to say, and persistence, sticking with it.
And when you do it that way.
It just flat out works. It's strategic. It's planned. It's a key part of a modern revenue engine. Nothing like that movie scene.
So our mission today is pretty straightforward. We're going to unpack the actual data, look at the facts, and really show you why this thing people often dread, cold calling, is actually vital for, modern revenue teams.
Yeah, we'll pull back the curtain a bit. Show why avoiding the phone is probably costing you more than you think, and how maybe counterintuitively leaning into it can drive real results.
And we've got the goods to back it up. We've sifted through a bunch of research articles, notes. Today's evidence, it's coming straight from the trenches. We're pulling from the latest Bridge Group report, the 2025 edition, super important. Also, this great book, Cold Calling Sucks, and That's Why It Works. Love that title.
It's brilliant.
And some practical tips from the 30 Minutes to President's Club Cold Calling Guide. So yeah, get ready. Your view on cold calling might shift a bit today.
Okay, so let's dive right into the core truth. The basic reason why it works, even though, let's be honest, it feels kind of uncomfortable. Most people, most reps actively avoid it because, yeah, it is uncomfortable, it takes guts, you face rejection.
Right.
And that discomfort, that's actually why it works. It sounds weird, but stick with me.
Okay, that feels like a bit of a paradox. How does being uncomfortable actually give you an edge beyond just, well, my competitors won't do it?
Well, think about it like this. It cuts through the noise. Your prospects, they aren't getting slammed with 50 cold calls a day. Not usually. What are they getting slammed with? Automated emails, LinkedIn spam, digital noise.
Okay.
So when a real human voice actually breaks through that, it signals something different. It signals commitment, seriousness, maybe even a better solution because someone put in the effort.
So it's not just showing up, it's the signal that showing up sends.
Exactly. When 95% of your competition just won't pick up the phone consistently, you stand out just by doing it. You're using a human voice in a world of bots.
That makes a lot of sense. It's differentiation through effort.
Yeah. Cold emails can get you to quota, but cold calls will get you to President's Club.
Boom. So email keeps the lights on, hits the basic number maybe.
Right.
But calls, that's the accelerator. That's what gets you into that top tier, the elite level.
Absolutely. It's about exceeding the goal, not just meeting it. And look, the data totally backs this up. Gong did this massive analysis, right? 300 million cold calls.
300 million, wow.
Yeah. And their Math That Matters section. It's eye-opening when you compare the top reps to the average ones.
Okay, lay it on us. What's the actual performance gap look like?
It's pretty stark. So Gong looked at the top 25% of cold callers versus the average reps. Same number of dials, okay? 800 dials.
Got it.
The top 25%, they get 106 connects out of those 800 dials. That's a 13.3% connect rate. Pretty good. And from those connects, they book 18 meetings. So a 16.7% meeting booked rate from connects.
Okay, the average reps?
Same 800 dials. They only get 43 connects. That's just 5.4%. Big drop already.
Yeah.
And from those 43 connects, they only book 2 meetings. A 4.6% meeting rate.
Hold on. So 18 meetings versus 2 meetings from the same 800 dials.
Yep. That's a 9x improvement in meetings booked 9 times.
That is staggering. So for you listening, what are those top folks doing differently on the call itself? Is it like a magic opening line?
It's rarely one single thing, like a magic bullet. What Gong's analysis suggests, looking deep into those calls, it's mastery of those first 15, 20 seconds, establishing relevance super fast.
Yep.
They're not just pitching features, they're diagnosing problems. They ask these really sharp, high-value questions that dig into pain points. That leads to a real qualifying conversation, not just pleasantries. That's the better execution bit. Precision, not just dialing.
That's super helpful. Okay, and here's where it gets even more interesting for me. The connection with email. Most people think, okay, if they don't pick up the phone, the call was wasted. But the data says something else entirely.
Exactly. Even if they don't answer, maybe they just see your name pop up on caller ID or they hear 5 seconds of your voicemail. That activity actually boosts your other touches, especially email.
How much does it boost it?
Get this. Email reply rates nearly double when cold calling is part of the strategy.
Double.
Seriously. Without cold calls, the average email reply rate they saw was 1.81%. But add cold calling into the mix, it jumps to 3.44%.
Wow, okay. I wouldn't have guessed it'd be that high. What's the thinking there? Is it just seeing your name more often, or is there something deeper?
I think it's a bit deeper. It's about building momentum across channels.
All right.
And signaling real intent. That call attempt, even if missed, it kind of creates this little subconscious flag. Oh, this person tried to reach me directly.
Right.
So when your email lands maybe an hour later, it feels less like random spam and more like, oh, part of a genuine attempt to connect. Seems more legitimate, more personal.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And if you're doing, like the Bridge Group says, over 100 activities a day, those call plus email plus voicemail combos, they're not just isolated pings. They build up. They increase visibility. Show you're serious.
Okay, that's a perfect transition.
Yep.
Let's talk more about that Bridge Group report, the 2025 edition. It really does feel like a health check for your whole go-to-market approach. It gives us this crucial baseline for activity volume. What are SDRs actually doing all day, according to the report?
Yeah, the numbers are pretty high. The median SDR, so the middle of the pack, is hitting 112 activities a day now.
112, okay. And what does that look like? Calls, emails?
It breaks down roughly like this. Average is about 44 calls, 41 emails, maybe 19 LinkedIn touches, and then 8 other things.
So calls and emails are pretty neck and neck in volume.
Yep, and what's really interesting is that a full third of SDRs are making 60 or more dials every single day.
60 plus dials.
And crucially, the report stresses this is pure human effort. This isn't counting automated email sequences firing off in the background. This is people picking up the phone.
That's a ton of manual effort. Why? Why the emphasis on human dialing now? Are the bots failing us?
Well, it's not just about hitting a big number for the sake of it. It's about that intentional human touch cutting through all the digital clutter. Think about your own inbox, right? The automated channels, mass emails, generic LinkedIn stuff, they're just saturated. Everyone's doing it.
Sure.
So to actually get noticed in 2025, you kind of need that higher volume of human-to-human attempts. It signals, hey, I'm real. This isn't just another sequence.
Right. And that intense activity, that human touch, it leads directly to the next really critical piece. Quality conversations. QCs. The report says these are king. First off, how are they defining a quality conversation? It's not just getting someone on the phone, right?
Definitely not. A QC isn't just a chat. It's defined as learning something genuinely qualifying or disqualifying, getting real intel that helps you move a deal forward or helps you understand quickly why it won't move forward. No fluff.
Got it. Real substance. And how are the top reps doing on QCs?
They're averaging 4.1 QCs a day now, which is actually up from 3.6 back in 2022. So the focus on depth is increasing.
And the channel difference. Is the phone still the best way to get those QCs?
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
Undeniably. The report shows phone-centric teams average 4.6 QCs daily.
4.6.
Compare that to email-first teams. They're only averaging 3.4 QCs.
Wow, that's a big gap. 4.6 versus 3.4.
It is. Cold call first teams are getting 1.4 times more quality conversations. The takeaway is pretty blunt. You just can't expect to hit serious pipeline goals if you're basically hiding behind email. The phone is where the real intel comes from, most efficiently.
Okay, the report also dives into ramp time for new SDRs, and this number jumped out at me. Average ramp time is down to a record low, 3.0 months.
Yeah, fastest they've ever recorded. 3 months flat on average.
That sounds incredibly fast, almost too fast. What's driving that speed?
Well, it is fast, But it's not happening in isolation. There are a few factors they point to. One is huge adoption of AI coaching tools, like 68% of teams are using them now to help reps improve faster. Another is giving new hires tighter territories, a more focused area to learn and execute within.
Makes sense.
And maybe a bit surprisingly for some, the shift back to the office is playing a role for many companies, that tribal knowledge transfer, learning by listening, by osmosis from senior reps. It's hard to replicate that fully remote.
But that raises a big question for me. If you don't have really solid, structured onboarding, incorporating maybe AI coaching, clear territory plans, good mentoring. Okay, let's shift gears a bit because here comes the big flashing red light in the report, the really alarming part. Despite all this activity, the focus on QCs, overall quota attainment, is actually dropping.
Yeah, this is the worrying trend.
Only 60% of SDRs are hitting their quota now. That's the lowest the Bridge Group has ever recorded. Down 3% just from 2022.
And get this, only 12% of teams 12 see more than 90% of their reps actually hitting the number. Just a tiny fraction are really crushing it consistently.
So what's going on? Is it just reps getting lazy?
No, absolutely not. That's the wrong conclusion to draw. The report makes it pretty clear this isn't about lazy reps. It points towards fundamental problems in the overall go-to-market design.
Like what?
Things like broken onboarding processes, like we just discussed. Weak ICPs, ideal customer profiles. If you don't know exactly who your best customers are, your reps are just spraying and praying.
Right, wasted effort.
Exactly. And flimsy enablement, not giving reps the right training, content, tools to actually succeed, it all adds up.
And it's not just internal issues, right? The market itself is tougher. The report mentions stuff like CFOs taking longer to sign off on deals.
Yep, longer deal cycles, more scrutiny on budgets.
And median OTEs, on target earnings, basically what reps can earn, it's been flat, even with inflation eating away at it. That's got to be tough on morale and motivation.
For sure. It puts immense pressure on everyone. And it really highlights that this is a systemic issue. Think about it. Opportunity quotas, so the value of deals reps need to bring in, actually fell by about a third, but attainment still went down.
Wow. So even with lower targets, fewer people are hitting them.
Exactly. That screams deeper problems across the whole GTM engine, not just a sales technique issue.
So let's kind of zoom out then. This Bridge Group report, it's way more than just an SDR activity tracker. It's basically a full-on health check for your entire go-to-market engine.
Right. That's exactly how I should see it.
It forces you as a leader to get really honest. Is our engine healthy? Is it actually scalable? Because if you're not giving your people the right process, the right tools, the right targets, the right support, you're not scaling. You're just churning through talent and burning people out.
Which brings us to a few key questions for you listening right now. Time for a little self-reflection. Are your people actually having those, say, 3 to 4 real quality conversations every single day? Like, honestly.
Yeah. And are you genuinely phone forward, leading with that direct human connection? Or are you still kind of hiding behind the automated sequences and just hoping something sticks?
And your new hires, are they truly ramped up, confident, and contributing effectively in that critical 90-day window? Or are they still floundering?
Because look, like it or not, that seems to be the standard for 2025. 3 to 4 quality conversations daily. That's the bar. It's not about vanity metrics like opens or clicks, not sending 400 automated emails that nobody reads.
No.
It's about real talk, real human touch points, real outcomes.
And the best teams, the ones really winning and growing. They're already clearing that bar. They figured it out.
So wrapping this up, what we've really uncovered today is kind of ironic, isn't it? The fact that cold calling is perceived as dead or old-fashioned is actually its biggest strength now.
It really is. The data just screams it. Cold calling isn't dead at all. It's just rare.
And rare gets noticed. Rare gets rewarded.
It's that uncomfortable truth, the thing most people shy away from, that really separates the top performers now.
It's that commitment, right? Showing up.
Yeah.
Being precise. Being persistent. That's what moves the needle.
Yeah, the numbers don't lie. Higher connect rates, way more booked meetings, boosting your email game significantly, and most importantly, generating far more of those quality conversations.
Those are the ingredients you need for a healthy pipeline and hitting quota consistently.
Look, this isn't about trying to recreate Boiler Room, forget that scene. This is about building a smart, modern, efficient, human-centric way to go to market that actually works in today's noisy environment.
The teams that get that really commit to it, they're the ones pulling ahead.
Which leaves us with one final thought for you to maybe chew on.
What's it actually going to take for your team to clear that mold too? What needs to change?
Is it strategy, enablement, onboarding, culture?
Because that is the bar for 2025. And the best teams, they're already there. They're clearing it. Are you?